or shut up?
Well, we are into game 2, and it is game point right now for Logic Gaming. So that is the scenario, as you say, Azael. LeBlanc, Aurelion Sol banned out here for phase 1 from TSM. We'll see the Zach, as usual, on the bench, coming from the red side with a Syndra next.
So we'll see if there's any changes in the pick ban. And Bjergsen has played Galio mid 3 times in a row now, I think. He's played it quite a bit, actually. So will he actually play it again? You know, will he play it a 4th time in a row? Because that has been a pick that he has been very confident in. The team has obviously been very confident in, despite it not really working out too well for them just yet. We're gonna have to find if they stay true to that.
Looks like Hanser will actually take the Lee Sin this time. He will try to clean that up, as Dardoch was showing his Venus Lee Sin.
We got to remember, Elise and Ivern, those are both up this time, and they weren't in game 1, so there's definitely some options here for Dardoch. You know, will he go to something like the Ivern? You can try to play and kind of protect the AD carry composition around Stixxay. You can pivot and run those more supportive styles. You definitely can also play Elise, which is extremely aggressive and a very powerful jungler.
Stixxay liking that pickup of the Varus. First pick, please. And a possible jungler, so they don't show too much, but get what they want here. So we don't have Dardoch pinched as we get into the second phase. Still deciding what that will be. And it is the Elise, as you said, left up, and not too many games this week.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the big differences. Kennen, a super high priority pick that is still available. Ashe, obviously very strong, but there's so many AD carry options depending on what kind of style you want to play. Thresh is something that is actually so high priority outside of NA. It does obviously have some priority here, you know, as it was banned out in game 1 and stuff, but this is considered the kind of S-tier support elsewhere in the world, and Biofrost has shown that he is a very good Thresh. So there's certainly a lot of playmaking ability for him on this champion, and Aphromoo is the one that was able to dictate the pace last game with that matchup that they had, you know, the Blitzcrank into Lulu, so it's Biofrost's chance now to turn things around on him.
He can go hard on that Thresh. One of his mains as well, coming into even the spring split for TSM, wasn't really able to play too much of that as it wasn't around. Now we get to see these guys make the plays. Renekton picked up here for Darshan. Be a lane bully on that top side, and that's what they will focus towards Hanser. The Kennen gets banned out, and Aphromoo is going to get a little respect and pick some bans.
Just remember, although Renekton is very strong, it is a blind pick, and there are, you know, some options. Obviously, Kennen is one of them. I think that Fiora can certainly do pretty well in that matchup too. It is a skill-based matchup, but you can outscale. And we'll see if Hanser is actually going to have the confidence to run that back if they want to go for a split-pushing style. If they don't, there's still things like Gragas that can match up pretty well. Obviously, there's a lot of top lane tanks that are pretty reasonable. We know Bjergsen is not going to get a shot at Galio. Neither is Hanser this time around, so they're going to be forced to show us something different.
Talia, Ahri, Orianna, top group still hanging out. Double support ban for Alphamoo's Bard. What will they decide here? It'll just be his Blitzcrank once again. Why not? The tried and true grab if he decides to lock it in.
The one thing about grabbing the Blitzcrank here, not that it can't work, is that you're going up against the Thresh. And hooking in a Thresh is while it still can be effective, it's nothing like hooking in a Lulu, right? Which is so much more vulnerable. So I think even just for the 2v2 matchup, well, okay, they're going to go for it anyway. I mean, you are up against an Ashe as opposed to the Caitlyn last time, so it's even harder for Ashe to avoid that because you don't have the 90 caliber net. Your auto attack range is a little bit shorter, so it certainly is pretty scary for Doublelift, but if one of those guys is to get hooked in, I mean, if you hook in the Thresh can simply proc the Colossus and start a fight.
Yeah, start a play. If you hook in and go for quite a bit of resources on Doublelift, he may just get a Lantern out.
Yeah.
Interesting lane to play against.
Yeah, but that said, I mean, there's a lot of ways to play around the Blitz. You can roam, you can only go for those hooks when your jungler, Elise, another strong early ganking jungler comes down. So it's not like you have to win a straight up 2v2 for a champion to be very effective, and Aphromoo has shown that on these playmakers, but both of these guys will be able to make big plays on their supports.
There is the Talia, and it will be locked in here for TSM. They have, whoever gets caught is probably going to die immediately if you are caught by TSM.
Yeah, that's a really good point because, I mean, if you can land some sort of CC, it sets up very easily for the seismic shove from Talia, and that combo can just wipe you off the map. Like, that can be 100-0 pretty quickly. This is a lot of pick from both teams.
Surfing around and dashing around here as it's the Talia versus Ahri in the mid lane. And we'll see Elise versus Lee Sin in the jungle, more dashing, jumping. Same thing from the top. This is going to be a highly mobile game here with the AD carries trying to stay alive. Not even really with the help of the supports that much anymore, as they'll be trying to engage too.
There's actually a ton of CC and pick on both sides.
Yep.
I mean, if you look across the board for CLG, it's point and click stun for Renekton, it's Cocoon for the Elise, you have Charm on the Ahri, you have the ultimate from the Varus, you have Hook and Knockup and Silence from the Blitzcrank. And on the other side as well, there's quite a bit of pick. We know Gragas and Ashe, fantastic for their engages. Lee Sin as well here too. Thresh, this is very explosive gameplay possible from both sides, and I think if one team gets too far ahead, it's super easy to snowball a game like this.
Much more back to a regular comp that we would see here from Chronologic Gaming as they're back on the red side. A win with that Fiora mid kind of threw TSM off, so we'll see what we have here for game 2. Hashtag TSM win, hashtag CLG win, as the comps have been changed up quite a bit as we get into game 2. TSM looking for a lot of that pick comp as they slide in the Ashe Arrow and a bunch more CC. The fans are ready. They've been doing the wave today here in the arena. It's been pumped up. We've had some great games in week 2, and it's only week 2.
That's true. It's the end of week 2 almost.
Yeah, almost.
Hopefully we'll get game 3 here.
But this is going to be crazy, right? CLG can look to go 4-0 here at the end of the week. TSM would be 1-3 to start things off.
It's been a while since CLG has had a really good start like that. Even in some of their strong splits, they oftentimes are slow out of the gate. It's the team that people are talking about, well, they'll pick it up towards the end. These are the veterans. These are the guys who are going to pull it together later on. But, it hadn't always been the case in the last couple splits, and now they're really strong out of the gates and looking like one of the very best teams in North America. But TSM, 5-man move down on the bot side here. Going to be looking to see if they can catch anyone. Can't always look for that flash hook, but it would be risky. You don't know where the rest of CLG is.
Does make for an interesting play.
I'm not opposed to it, though the rest of his team might be.
Well, you miss all the ones you don't take. So
there you go.
If you're really bad at the I just wanted to know situation, you can't sleep at night, then you have to do it. Just one of those people that has to take the Lee Sin Q, has to take the extra Thresh Q. That's what we want to see out of these guys here. TSM definitely trying to make a mark early in this game. They don't really have a team that needs to scale. It does better as it scales, but they can still make sure to get the kills in early with this composition.
Yeah, they really can. I mean, there's a lot of early game power on both sides. Early game, powerful junglers, pretty strong, bully laners and stuff across the board here too. CLG fans
still
out in
keeping
force
it,
today.
yeah.
It's a rare sight that you see TSM lose the fan vote twice in a row.
This is true. Still quite close. A few more percentage over to the side of CLG with a game 1 win, as you would expect. Fans getting their friends online here. Red buff over to Svenskeren, and we are off and running.
Oh, this is
yeah, that's
it's a pink ward that was actually... Who started with that pink ward? So it looks like maybe Elise actually, yeah. I think Dardoch actually only started with 1 pot. So he actually saved his extra 100 gold and spent that on a pink ward. And they spotted Dardoch coming in here. So they know where Svenskeren is. And Aphromoo moving over can look to try to reset this perhaps. Or at least harass this. But it does look like eventually Svenskeren should be able to take away this blue buff. And Dardoch will be doing some vertical jungling, I think.
Yeah, that was absolutely Dardoch to pick up the pink ward. He's going to head over towards that top side. Pressure from Bjergsen goes bot, makes him a little bit safer because Bjerg has to now cover a little bit of what Svenskeren is doing. The first part of the orb just missing. And Bjergsen able to trade back with work ground.
It's a pretty cool little adaptation from Dardoch. Very rare that you actually
Yep.
see someone start with a pink, and Elise is one of the junglers that can clear and essentially have full HP at the end of her clear. So you don't really need those extra potions, although refillable is super efficient, so that's mostly why people go for it. But he is going to start with that pink and gets a little bit of information early on, but it's already been cleared out.
No push, or I should say, yes, push on mid. No pressure from Svenskeren as it is pushed. And the ping on Wolves goes down, knowing that that is going to be something they need to take. Raptor's still up, which is quite nice for him. Good amount of experience the junglers love to get. And it looks like they will work around each other, not have the chance to meet up here in the early game.
And it's been an even trade so far, basically, as far as the camps go. Both guys took away a couple camps from their opponents, and they're looking to set up a dive here. This would be very aggressive early on.
I'm going to say the ping just went down. That was the alert From the Scryer's Bloom, there's the repel, the last few hits. The hits go on to Darshan. He flashes out. That was a very heated turret, and they would have gone down. Great play with the flashes and the in and out from CLG.
Sven is looking to respond now here on the bot side. He is wrapping around.
They're so
both
low.
the CLG bot laners do have their flash. We'll see if they can go for it.
Whoa, Summoner Heal to start it off. Flashes in, and it's the flash from Afromu, who's going to be getting to safety, but TSM really commit on that one.
They do get both of CLG's flashes, though, so they trade their flash from Biofrost and the heal from Double, so it's a slight trade up, but definitely the big win is for CLG on the top side. They push it in, and they're going for this double level 4 dive, and this is very risky to pull off, but Elise is one of the very best because you can reset the turret aggro. So as soon as that stun ends, repel up that last shot, you avoid it, and then he comes right back down to finish him off.
The way Dardoch did that too, it's a matter of half seconds, but the turret shot almost hit his body. He took the full tether, the full charge, and the shot came out, which makes it even longer for Darshan to get out.
Exactly. You want to make sure that the tower actually expends its shot at you,
yes,
and that you're not repelling too early, and then the next shot goes over onto Renekton, because that would have meant kill would have gone over to Haunter. And it's those tiny little differences that can make it dive like that. That's a risky play, but that's one that could snowball a game.
Doublelift able to clean up the minions as they slowly feed into the turret, and he's already up. Does not spell good things for Stixxay in the early game, as they're just able to wave clear with the volley and keep their CS up. Bjergsen and Huhi again playing that kind of vertical mid lane you do against Talia, and she tries to get her volleys and worked ground into a good position. More pressure towards top. We'll see if Svenskeren can actually get a hit onto Darshan here.
Remember, Darshan is flashless. He had to use his flash to actually get out of there. And there is flash available on Haunter, so they could look to set something up on this top side. Darshan has a tri-ward brush, so should be somewhat aware of the fact that this could be happening. But now the roam coming in behind Bjergsen. This is a Moby Boots Elise, and they are moving up towards mid lane.
Biofrost just on the edge as well. They're bringing the party up for this one. Doublelift is backing off as well.
4-man top.
Nothing to farm. The wall gets Bjergsen there. Darshan would have had a way out, but he has to put himself back under the turret. Tries to go for the stun onto Haunter with a slice and dice to get a little bit of room, doing everything he can. But TSM is one step ahead.
They're able to pull it off, so tit for tat, TSM answers the kill in the top lane, and Haunter, because the wave was pushing towards his opponent, Darshan never got to collect up all that CS, and the wave is actually going to push away from Darshan because it collects near his turret. So that means that Haunter is actually up a fair bit of farm and XP now after that. So turns out that he's the one ahead after everything shakes out.
Those are the hits we thought TSM would be making in the early game. Dardoch not waiting for the body slam. He's just looking to harass a little bit more, as Haunter probably would have made it under his turret anyways. See how this fight goes. Level 5s between both of them, just at 50% to level 6, so it's not like they're going to get a 6 and have their ultimate just right away. But the AD carries now to be left by themselves in this game. It's all happening mid and top side.
It definitely is, and Doublelift should have the better of this 1v1 because he has already purchased. You know, Stixxay hasn't had time to actually go back to base, and this is something that happened in a previous game earlier, right, where their base timer was offset with TSM, so TSM was able to force the Infernal when they eventually did base, and they could look to go right back for the Dragon again and try to get that advantage. As soon as 6A bases, you can look for it, and they're already starting it up, knowing that the CLG bot lane can't fight.
Scryer's Broom across let them know there was no vision over towards Huhi or even towards this blue. Well, now they steal that away from him. Bjergsen's going to have a grand time farming out mid lane against a non-blue buffed Ahri.
Yeah.
And this could result in Dragon if the fight bot lane also goes in favor of TSM.
Yeah, so Sven was just using the Dragon as a way over to that blue, but they still could look to start it up. And I think it would be a good idea, knowing that CLG is likely trading blue out on the other side of the map, and Stixxay is very weak right now. Plus, TP is down on Darshan, so really all the edges for this. Oh, Doublelift getting caught.
Chain of Corruption's just after. They're hesitating on this. They just saw the Dragon get taken down, so the grab was almost for naught. Now they're on to Afromu as he doesn't know how much he wanted this fight. The kickback from Svenskeren and the double knockup, and they're gonna clean this up. Double kill for Sven.
TSM gets so much on the bot side. Nice kick in there from Sven onto Stixxay as they get caught. I mean, this was not showing enough respect to the other team. There's 3 of your members up on the other side of the map. You have not even purchased. They want to go for this kill on Doublelift, but they don't actually have the damage to even force a summoner out of them. Even using their Ignite, no, he was not close to dying whatsoever, so not enough damage coming out of this Varus who hadn't purchased yet. Not only does TSM get 2 kills, they get the Infernal, they're gonna get first turret, and that is a very big swing for them.
Push mid lane as well, puts a little CS up, and we'll see it again, how Doublelift just stands steady, ready for the fight.
Yeah, I mean, you hook him in, it's nicely chained with the Varus ultimate, but everyone is coming up, and they quickly realize we don't have the damage. 6A is out of mana, he has not purchased. Doublelift is able to just stand tall, and it doesn't even have to blow a single summoner picking up these kills.
Really get a hook from Biofrost as well. It was the choice for Aphromoo to have to make more ground from his turret or take the hook, and either way he would have gone down. So nice placement on that for no escape. Flashes are still up for some plays if they decide to go back towards the bot lane. CLG has been trying to act on everything TSM has done.
They really have, but Biofrost being very successful so far this game. He has early Mobies, he roams top, he's able to have a lot of success on this Thresh early on, with his playmaking, involved in all 3 of the kills, some top side, some bot side, and really doing a good job for himself. So really looking at home on this playmaking support.
A little more roaming has basically evened out the CS in all lanes. I love this game. It's about the catches now. So many deep wards. They're playing across the jungle. A quick stun as Ruthless Predator just gets Sven caught for a second. And Darshan knows he can play safe with the vision of those 2 and the team roaming up here. What an active early game.
Definitely has been. 6A behind Bjergsen looking for Verisalt.
Nice hit. Calls for the cleanse.
It's always a good trade. If you can trade an ultimate for a summoner, pretty much always a win. And they can look to try to go for a repeat play there. Hui could perhaps look for a solo kill later on, knowing that cleanse is down. If you can nail that charm, you might be able to take down Bjergsen.
See who he can go after this. So back from Bjerg, gets a few more items under his belt. They should be able to pick up most of this CS, and it looks like CLG will do the same. So we get a lull for a moment in all this action that's been happening. But remember, with that turret down, TSM is now able to work a lane for Haunter, able to get him solo experience over and over. And that pressure may be able to make them play mid or have to get Darshan's TP expended.
Haunter looking for Dardoch. Nice repel. Very, very quick reactions there. Need a little bit of a taunt. But this game is looking so much better for TSM, right? Not only are they not up against this hyper-scaling Fiora who's going to be able to dominate side lanes later, they're not going to get outscaled in that manner whatsoever, and they have a very strong early gold lead. Being up 2,000 gold at this point in the game is really good for them because they have a strong team fight. Sure, CLG is going to have their chances here too, but definitely a good spot for TSM.
So we talk about those level 6, 11, 16s for ultimates, but level 9 as well, that first level 5 you get being hit by TSM first. Little spikes they're using to get themselves these leads. Arrow.
That arrow.
Crossfield. Oh, like a moth to the flame. Oh, way to kick it back and get that kill, resulting in the death of Huhi with summoners up. Now it's going to be the straight down repel here for Dardoch, and he may not find himself taunting anybody after that one.
Ooh, he ulted right into it, and Doublelift with a cross-map arrow. We talked about it in the draft. You hit the CC, Talia will clean you up, and Bjergsen is able to land that seismic shove and just deletes him. And this is from so far away. 2 men up there hoping to hit the miracle arrow, and the Spirit Rush right into it. Bjergsen straight up, seismic shove, just deletes him, and they still have the kick available here on Sven. So they go forward, knowing they can clean up yet another kill.
Bit of a escalated game pace now for TSM as they could have some moves to make. CLG putting power and numbers towards this top side here. Stop Doublelift and Biofrost from really being able to roam to any other lanes. I guess it doesn't matter when he has the arrow from side lanes. Cool. But that's what they're trying to get, a few more tags onto the members of TSM before they actually break this laning phase, because they have so much control already.
But you can really see how much more difficult it is for Aphromoo on this blitz to kind of assert his dominance. You don't have to be as scared. Doublelift is walking forward because Biofrost is positioned very well behind him, knowing he can lantern him, right? Knowing you have that way to answer and that safety from that support. TSM moving around the map very well, looking strong in game 2, trying to grab this Rift Herald. These are the kind of things that you want to do. These are the objectives you can pick up to try to snowball early advantages. The CLG are looking to try to stop this. TP's coming in from both sides. More TSM members are here first.
Darshan just to the left. They have Bjergsen. Now Ruthless Predator, the double stun. Dardoch gets out very low, but nobody's there with Darshan and Dardoch. They're already down before the team can get in. Huhi getting hit. Now trying to get away with the Orb Deception. Speed is just enough, but he goes down with both summoners down as well. Haunter in a 2v1 now. You can see Stixxay's been so far behind.
Oh, the arrow!
He almost can't provide the damage necessary. Heal is there for him. Lets the barrel charge up. The long-range arrow keeps Hugi in place. Long enough to tell the story once again. 9-1 here for TSM coming up on 15 minutes, and mid is theirs.
TSM is just getting everything. CLG wanted to try to make a play. They could feel the game slipping away from them a little bit, so they wanted to contest the Rift Herald, try to go for a big team fight win. Instead, it's 4 kills for TSM. They'll take the mid turret. They get the Rift Herald anyway, and now they're getting their second Infernal. Like, this lead is ridiculous for this time in the game. Dardoch gonna look for the steal, though.
Right in, does not even hesitate.
Oh, he got it.
Gets it. Dardoch is in that mode. You can see it right there. They were going for either the death and the dragon, or death, dragon out. And now it's going to be the fight resulting. Maybe Haunter goes down here. This extended fight going in favor of CLG as Darshan flashes forward. One more auto attack there. Does not slice and dice forward for any more. The chase has not given CLG the chance to push the wave, so they'll do that now, rather, with top lane.
Bjergsen caught out here. He's going to go down too.
There's a little bit of relentlessness coming here from CLG. They head back down to the bot side. Doublelift slowly, ever so slowly pushing top here, and it looks like he will be able to drop the turret, but mid taking pressure from Huhi.
A couple big kills going the way of Darshan, so the CLG, very important for them that they were able to fight back there, get something out of that. Huhi looking for him, but has the Spirit Rush available, will be okay. And just stopping an Infernal Drake, making that even instead of just giving over the 2 is so massive.
Yes.
This has allowed CLG the time to kind of stay even in this game, to pick up some kills, to pick up some turrets, and now they've pulled it back quite a bit.
I love it. It's that gotta do it mentality, and he went for it.
Yeah, and Sven actually didn't have his smite, so they had thought that this was essentially a free dragon. Probably used that smite over on the Rift Herald, so their only real option for TSM was trying to burn down Dardoch before he could take it. But Dardoch repelled in, he focuses down the dragon, and because he has that smite and his opponent doesn't, it goes over to CLG, and definitely still way behind, but now a little bit of least on life.
So with that map pressure focused down towards bot for CLG, Doublelift was able to grab the turret. Look at that bot lane for TSM, 006, 007, still getting the gold, but assist gold can slow things down sometimes if you're looking to get that damage in. It's a good thing Stixxay hasn't been racking up too many himself. He does keep things even in that sense.
Yeah, got the James Bond fresh going on over here for Biofrost, but Doublelift looking for another arrow, hits it again, and Sven looking for the kick.
Sven waits. He waits for Dardoch to separate himself a little bit more from Alphamoon. They know they can't take the fight. The quick hop off stops anything from mid lane. That's a second tier look for TSM.
Yeah, very well done, and Doublelift hits another arrow here. This time he gets the kill, but he has been on point with this. They have the Rift Herald too. They're going to spawn that up, and if you can get a kill before forcing this, you can sometimes push 2 turrets. Huhi on the side, though, will be looking for a pick. We'll see if he can get it.
Explosive cask still up to disengage or re-engage on the siege. TSM is getting to these situations with so much more, and CLG's thinking they can take these fights. They didn't that time, but it could have turned out very bad. A lot of map pressure here from TSM, and what a swap from what we saw in game 1. Much more control from the beginning.
Yeah, it's been extremely controlled here for TSM. All lanes doing pretty well, and Sven Skaren, most importantly, like, he is having a very big game, and he has been the focus of quite a bit of criticism from TSM fans and from a lot of people because he has not been performing up to his previous standards. But this has been a huge game for him, and Lee Sin has always, in my opinion, kind of been his best champion.
Teleport now coming in. That's the hit up on to Dardoch. He goes down immediately. And it looks like Haunter's going to be trying to follow this fight, whether it is to just push CLG off or get more. We'll find out in a second. It's to get more. Flash forward. That's going to be the hit on the Stixxay. Barrel slow to come in as well. There's the flash hook from Biofrost. And he gets even more aggressive here as two people are down for CLG and they look for the top tier turret double lift pushing mid, but he seems to be hedging up towards the top side.
Yeah, just everything is working for TSM. CLG are trying to play to win. They're trying to look for plays, look for ways that they can get back into the game, but TSM is answering everything, and that is why they are getting slaughtered.
Answering tenfold each time that CLG tries. 36,000 and a half.
They see them. This is a TSM ward.
Move off it now. They have a bit of their own vision here for a moment. There is the teleport coming in. Biofrost is going to be able to see that. Get a flay for his teammate. Right past. No Ruthless Predator on the cross. They should be able to take out Darshan, but quickly Dardoch and Huhi collapse on that fight. Double lift and Biofrost. What a split by them to push CLG off as well. Bjergsen weaving the wall down to the fight, and CLG just finds TSM coming out of the woodwork every time they want to fight.
CLG is just getting decimated. They're trying to make these plays, trying to find a way back in, but they just can't, and TSM is answering them time and time again here. Biofrost, Lanterns double lift out to safety. They split them up. This is very smart play. Darshan's not sure which way to chase. Yeah. They pull him out. Aframu gets picked up on the top, and then this split. Double lift going to safety up top. Biofrost backing off, so no one is in danger, and they wait for Bjergsen to come down with the Weaver's Ult, pick up yet another kill, and then Stixxay eventually has to back off there, knowing no chance for him to get anything done.
Talia popping up much more, as we were saying, speaking with Zyrene last game on it, it's, well, people have the chance to play the landing phase, play the worked ground and the passive. It's the walls in the practice tool, the games that people have been playing more to get better with and make these fights yours. Completely create separation and ground from a fight, and it's been big ever since Jarvan and small things. They can separate a fight. Now you have a giant wall.
Yeah, exactly. And being able to utilize that Talia wall is such an important part of her kit because it's not a combat ultimate. This is not like a damaging ultimate. This is not a supportive ultimate. You have to use it. It's all about positioning. It's about cutting off your opponents. It's about getting odd man fights, and all the best Talias can do it. Bjergsen definitely showcasing it here, and it's also something that you can use to siege exceptionally well, just cutting your opponents off from their turret and being able to use that to pressure turrets.
Give me ideas with the aggressive ultimate. Like if you can pin someone against the wall with the end of it, if it happens.
I mean, you'd think it would do some damage, right? You're essentially throwing all these rocks on someone. Just be able to surf right over someone, squish them.
Heaving the ground from under you. The other one's hurt, that's for sure. Seismic shove, we've seen that wiping people out. The hit on Huhi in the mid lane earlier was representative of that. There's the arrow missing, and that could be the engage. All the way to Bjergsen! How did he get it to split the members of TSM? Biofrost and Doublelift now running for the hills, but it's Darshan who's already at the top, playing king. Can they follow up with more? The charm just missing for the heal from Doublelift.
Back up.
There's the separation, but wait a minute, Aframu gets picked in. The death sentence just misses, and nobody's sentenced just yet. Darshan in, a Ruthless Predator look for Doublelift on the end, but he just gets the call with a bit of the rage on the end for extra heal. This is such a separation. There's the kill. He's waiting for it. As Sven taunts it before he goes for Huhi.
Sven Saren going legendary in the game. 9-0 and 8 on the Lee Sin. They're going to go right over to the Baron here. CLG chasing, but a Doublelift can go over and they can collect this Baron probably for sure.
Close.
Oh, just barely lives.
Get those passive heals on and he's good to go. Plus those overalls, great defense. 19-4, 22 minutes in. It feels like we're so much further through this game. But it's only Baron at 20 minutes. Once again, this seems to be theme of the week. Early Barons.
It's been such an active game. It does take them a while to take it down because it's so early in that game, but no jungler here. Aframu looking for the hook steal. Nope.
So close.
Gotta respect the try. And gotta respect this. I mean, CLG knows they're insanely behind. They're gonna keep trying to make plays. They know it's their only way back in, so Aframu, flash, hook, actually catches Bjergsen there, pulling him back through the team. That one,
oh my word,
bent sideways and wrapped around the corner. I'm not sure how it didn't hit Thresh, but he got him. And then the chase down, TSM just plays it pretty slowly. Really good ultimate from Monster. That's pretty much picture perfect. You knock in one member, you knock the rest of them away, separating that team and getting the cleanup, and then Biofrost Flay on that slice and dice.
Ready for the Flay plays, baby. That's just one of his main champions.
Nice. Oh, the recall taunt. I missed that in the live play. That's why you play the boxer skin, because then you sit down and it's the ding-ding, and then you go, yeah.
Fight. It's on. Wow, what score lines here. Look at Doublelift and Biofrost now participating in the kill column as well. 1-0-10, 1-0 worked. Oh my God! Happy birthday to Doublelift. There's a surprise party. It's not even his birthday.
Oh,
there's the hit. Oh, hook for hook. We're gonna see who has the better one. Who is the governor of Hook City on this? Half for a move, very close to going down. His stick stays down. The DPS from the bot lane is out of the fight, and now Darshan has to look for safety as Bjergsen's able to throw the rocks in and do enough damage. They'll be able to solidify this one down. Biofrost cheating death with a flay. Onto the big Croc, and TSM come up big with 4.
Yeah, they're able to get 4. They have the Baron. This one feels all but wrapped up with like a 13,000 gold lead at 24 minutes, and how strong they are. TSM is definitely looking to put the finishing touches on this one pretty early.
Right up to the turret. A little push by Huhi to try and get something in motion if a fight were to go in their favor, but it's ever so little. CLG, or I should say, they only have so many options. Very few options as we see this again.
Yep, CLG, again, going for a play. They know picks are their only chance, but even when you get a pick, they expend so much to actually get it, and they're so far down in gold that they can't take these even number fights. Like, they can't take even odd number fights, really. And Bjergsen did a great job ulting down Talia so quickly. Hui's not able to match that roam. So when they come in, they pick off Stixay. That's essentially all of the sustained DPS already gone from CLG, and not much chance of them taking that fight. Darshan now spotted out. Doublelift does not have his arrow, but
Talia wall in about 5 seconds.
Wrapping around.
They're not even going to need to use it. If they do, they're going to cut the team off to the other side. Whoa, lots of damage coming into Biofrost as well. So CLG having their own damage to put forward, but top for support. TSM feeling all right.
Yeah, TSM will definitely take that trade, and they are pushing up here, still have the Baron buff active. They do have to be somewhat respectful of the fact that Afromu can keep looking for these hooks, but with Haunter out in front, you can't hook that guy in, and they're just going to siege very aggressively. Should knock down this turret, no problem.
Inhibitor as well, not getting, or I should say getting enough respect to get themselves in. Dardoch low, can't participate in the fight. His repel would be for defense, not to engage. And with 2 seconds left on Darshan, we're going to have a backup here. 1 minute onto Cloud Drake, not a necessity for TSM. They have 2 of their own, but they stay long enough.
Yeah, definitely not a necessity, but why not grab that up? Yeah, Dance and Bjergsen looking for that seismic shove, but he should be able to run away.
Nice guy, Svenskeren, taking the charm. All right, things are getting a little hectic on the escape here. Maybe too many breadcrumbs left by TSM that they want to try and pick up, so they say leave them. CLG's hungry, and they are coming for the kills. Pink Ward's being placed out by CLG now. They got to stop giving up their jungle. 26 minutes. TSM's already knocking on the front door of their base with Inhibitor down in bot.
TSM just going to reset once again here and buy up as much as they can, try to get as much possible combat power, use the most of their gold lead here, and look to push up and siege again. Haunter very far up here, likely going to get picked off though. We'll see.
Big separation in the fight, 5v1 if he can even live for that long. The entire team is on the top side here with the Inhibitor down on bot. An interesting choice, and it looks like they're going to lose pressure mid.
It's really the only thing CLG can do. Like they're trying to just do something to get back into the game, and it's the only thing they're ever going to be able to do with this composition and with this goal disadvantage. You see one person, you go hope that's only one person there, no one's behind him. You keep trying to get those kills because that can buy them a little bit of time. And you know, the only way for them back into this game is you get that sort of thing to happen 10, 15 times in a row. Maybe you buy yourself enough time to get even in gold, but TSM definitely have all the advantage.
That's the number it equals out to when you're looking at that 12,500 gold lead. TSM has a few mistakes they can make, still be okay. The waves have to be pushed for, a couple dozen. We'll see what they can make. They also have the ability to get back quite quickly with that Talia ultimate if they need to clear something. So Doublelift towards the top side.
It's kind of funny to see Doublelift picking up the Last Whisper here when there's no armor at all, not a single piece of armor being purchased on his opponent's team. So definitely not a great buy, but I think it's one of those things where you're like on autopilot and you're like, okay, after I have these items, I buy this item, and they have armor at that
damage,
point.
crit,
but
attack speed.
but it's like CLG is so poor that they don't actually have the items that you would expect. They haven't built any armor yet.
That hurts because armor is one of the cheaper items you can get in the game. Oh, Hunter with the huge shields. Still able to get over the wall and take down Huhi, not having the same game as he did on the Fiora. An arrow splitting the defensive 6A and Aphromu with no hit. And Bjergsen in a very scary spot. Whoa! He puts himself on autopilot for a second, maybe looking to make the wall play, looking up towards the top side of the team. Dardoch very low, he will stay alive with the health. No, Biofrost flashes in for the auto, and they're gonna start cleaning up the rest of CLG on their own. Engage, TSM turns them on their own head.
Just ridiculous. That's the 13th kill of the game for Svenskeren, and they are gonna close this one out. The Nexus turrets are already under fire. We're going to be going to game number 3, Riv.
25. You serious? 25 KD. 28-7. 29 minutes into the game. TSM shaking off game 1 as CLG came out strong. TSM turn on the afterburners, and we're going to a game 3.
Definitely a game to be happy about for TSM. Definitely looked very clean. And it's one that actually started out well for CLG. It started with that first blood in the top lane for them, but they were able to make plays of their own. Biofrost, you know, this team, 4-man top, they turn that around. Then they can turn around the play on the bot side. And really some great roaming from Biofrost and an incredible game from Svenskeren. I mean, he was just, it felt like everywhere at the right time. And no matter what kind of pick CLG could find, Svenskeren was there to clean up the fight.
And you can tell just the situation of this game. The guy comes in, there may be a lot said as we kind of had the aura behind him. If he does this or that, he shakes it off each game. If you can come in and play like this, that means it just doesn't matter to you. You play with the team. And this time, he played for the team. He literally got everybody going.
He really did. And Lee Sin has been such a big pick in this series. Dardoch was great on it in game 1. Sven was incredible on it in game 2. And we know how big of a champion it is for him. He's always been really good on the Lee. So this may actually change things up going into the next pick and ban because CLG will have the opportunity to grab that up for themselves because they should be first pick again.
You did so great. Higher damage than Huhi as well after that Fiora game. You think Huhi had a lot of confidence to go in for the fights, but the positioning wasn't there. TSM just too many steps ahead here in game 2, and we've got a game 3. For a deeper dive on how TSM tied the series, let's hand it off to Freak and the analysts.
Thank you very much, Riv. And yeah, let's talk about this one. A comeback. Well, I mean, you say comeback as far as the series is concerned. TSM taking game 2, but in control basically the entire time. Right here, we've got the team comp up on the screen in a second here, and interesting situations and choices being made.
The big thing is the Blitz crank blind, and I'll say that kind of with quotation marks because obviously they see the Ashe and the Thresh already, but he's one of those champions where if you're not picking it for laning phase, you better make sure it's going to be useful for some other portion of the game, and you want to do it into a mobile mage's mid. And Talia's a mobile, but she often just plays outside the range of Blitzcrank for the most part, unless she's like flanking and shooting a wall in some way, and it just feels like there's not going to be that many opportunities to hook that champion in, and then as well Thresh being able to save anyone who actually does get hooked in.
Meanwhile, TSM's draft, I actually really like, you know, the combination of early game power with then pick tools for later in the game. So that's why this game snowballs so heavily out of control. I mean, they've got Thresh and Ashe for really good pick potential, and Lee Sin, you know, big crucial part of this team was Svenskeren on Lee Sin and his early game, you know, and getting all the lanes going.
Yeah, a good bounce back win for them. I think some of the help might have come from CLG, who tried very hard to get back into the game by forcing plays, and on mechanical levels, TSM were outplaying those skirmishes constantly.
And you're talking about CLG helping them. A lot of the escapes in a straight line to allow these arrows for double lift to hit.
Yeah.
Also helping out with the pick comp, you know,
make sure
flashes and Ari
arrows,
you get hit by
cooldown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's roll into our replays. Up first is actually going to be a fight in the bot lane, but it turns into these arrows that Kobe's been talking about here. And you'd think this is going to be double being dead, and as it comes out, they realize, oh, hold on, we're getting flanked, and they start running and don't put more damage down.
Right, so you see never procs at 3 stacks on the Ashe, relatively healthy. They think needs to run. 6 has no mana to even do that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And this whole time after grabbing the dragon, Lee Sin collapses down. Great insect by Svenskeren getting the double knockup for the easy kill. And with that, they're able to keep pushing in. And then as the game keeps going on, Double Lift just kept hitting arrows.
Oh man, this one was pretty rough to see as he uses his Ari ultimate in a straight line, still gets nailed, and you're like, is he gonna get punished for it? 100%. Easy there for Sven to get in for the kill, and then since Dardoch was there kind of trying to throw cocoons to help him out and sticking around to get him out of a bad situation, he also died. So it was multiple kills for that.
And this is what we're talking about, CLG kind of helping them get back into the game. They're contesting this Rift Herald from behind. The teleport comes in, and it's just way too easy for TSM to turn off after finishing the Rift Herald, pick up these kills, and go back and pick that buff up. CLG is not a team that's necessarily going to lose gracefully. We did see them get a couple kills in the bot lane and stuff much later into the game. They kept finding pickoffs, but they were so far behind that you need TSM to completely throw the game to make your way back into.
Yeah, plus as Azale was mentioning in the cast, it's not like they had some crazy scaling to rely upon and, and you know, they felt safe, like, it's all right, we'll just farm for late, boys, and, you know, out-comp them. That wasn't the case. You would have to prey on mistakes and, you know, get multiple punishes.
That said, I think CLG had a good game plan a little bit in the early game. They're one of the teams who takes Renekton and Elise and actually dives the top lane. I've seen this combination so many times in the LCS recently where people don't actually aggressively attack the top laner, and you see there that CLG proves you can just dive that enemy tank top at level 4 and get a free kill. They pulled that off, which was really nice, but then TSM had a good answer with the Talia roams shortly after that, and they basically just countered CLG every time they tried to make a play.
There were a lot of good performances in this game for TSM, and especially I like Biofrost on the Thresh. Thresh is a very versatile champion, so it's always fun to see, you know, when he's able to make both defensive and offensive plays with it.
Sure. Well, Player of the Game honors are going to go specifically to Sven Skaren in this one. So as you mentioned, Biofrost is a really good place as well, but Sven going essentially deathless, right? 13-0 and 12 is an insane Lee Sin score, and I think very well deserving when he does this well in the game.
Kobe only gave it to him because he did the recall before the Q.
The Q recall, he was like, I'm sold.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I gotta give him the award for that.
Yeah, he's on the fence until he's
the Blem style there with the Lee Sin. You know you got him. Honestly, though, his kill participation was insane. On top of the not dying, like it was actually just like a crazy resurgence for Sven Skaren in this game. Now, the TSM fans are definitely going to want more of that from him. And more consistency, right? Because this has been, you know, big losses. You know, where's the consistency coming from? There's a lot of variation right now.
If you're a TSM fan, you're looking at that scoreline. The most important, impressive thing for you in that is actually the 0 deaths. You don't care about the 13 kills or the 12. I mean,
you care.
You care about actually that is nice, but not replicatable. The 0 deaths more easily replicated.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see out of Sven Skaren. And this was a relatively easy game to avoid the constant pickoffs because things went so early on for them.
Right.
But this is what you need to see way more out of from him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing sort of what part of the family we get from TSM. Is it Bio Daddy? Is it brother Sven Skaren kind of feeding over to CLG later on in this one? Like,
big ol' TSM family.
I mean, just who knows what it's
Who's mama?
I don't know, but the Bjerger King is up there in the mid lane, and maybe it's just a very male family. You know, it's new generation.
Very male family.
They're adopted. I didn't have anything to say for you. I didn't have the rest of this lined up. You asked where the mom was, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't know. Maybe it's Reginald. I don't know.
Reggie mom, I got it. Let's go with that.
Very motherly figure coming in and yelling.
Reggie's the mother figure. Either way, guys, the rivalry are tied up now. It's 1-1 for this one. Only one of these teams can walk away with the win, though. The pride is on the line. Game 3 of CLG vs. TSM coming up next. Stay tuned.
Big Mama Reggie.
Spikes. Give themselves these leads. Arrow.
That arrow.
Cross field. Oh, like a moth to the flame. Oh, way to kick him back and get that kill, resulting in the death of Hugi.
They're fighting.
Going?
I'm coming. We're fighting.
I'm going top. I'm TPing. Can you lane check me?
Yeah, I'm alive.
Coming? I'm coming.
Just go top, Peter. Just push.
Oh, you can fight too.
Oh no.
I'm helping.
Top.
End mid.
End mid.